Hello and welcome to Speaking Football. My name's Tommy Hay and I'm joined here in Madrid by my colleague Ruben Palomero for episode number 101 of this series. Thank you to everyone out there for having joined Ruben and I in our last episode before the Easter break, Semana Santa. Now, it's interesting, we had the Parón de Selecciones, was the international break, and now we have the Easter break, which is for Semana Santa. Remember, if you're listening to us on the radio, welcome. And if you enjoyed listening to Richard Vaughan live over the last hour, you can hear more from Richard after this show on La Hora Extra. So as always, stick around. Now, there is lots of interesting things to talk about on today's show. In a few minutes, we'll be teaching you how to say sequía de goles in English. And in the second half of the show, Ruben and I will be challenging each other to see if we can guess some very complicated idiomatic expressions in English and in Spanish in one of our latest sections that we like to call Play on Words, Juego de Palabras. We'll end the show, as always, with our weekly press review, where we'll discuss, among other things, a fantastic week in Europe for Spanish clubs. So lots and lots to look forward to. First, though, let's begin the program, as always, by revealing the identity of last week's mystery player. Okay, Ruben, you can kick us off with clue number one.
He's the top scorer of a World Cup winning team.
Very good. He's the top scorer of a World Cup winning team. Excellent. Un país campeón del mundo. So a team that won the World Cup, a World Cup winning team. And he was the top scorer of that team. Number two, he won the Copa del Rey with three different teams. He won the Copa del Rey with three different teams, although maybe not the teams that you would expect. It's a very interesting series of teams that he won the Copa del Rey with. Clue number three, Ruben.
He won the league with two different teams.
Very good. He won the league with two different teams. And well done, Ruben. I hear a lot of people making a mistake where they say two different teams, but that's not what we say. We have to say two different teams because it's
a los adjetivos no hay que ponerles plural.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good rule to remember. Don't put don't make them plural if it's an adjective. You don't say two different teams or two black cars. No, you just say two different teams, two black cars. Very good. Clue number four. He won the World Cup. He won the Euros. And he also won the Champions League. So a very successful career in terms of international games and achievements. And also in terms of his club, won the Copa del Rey, and he also won the Champions League. Not bad at all. And number five, this is very interesting. Clue number five, Ruben.
His father was a miner.
Very good. His father was a miner, a minero. And it gives you a big clue. If I tell you he's Spanish, what areas of Spain are famous for mining, minería? What parts of Spain would you say?
Especially the north.
Exactly.
Yeah. Especially in the area in Asturias.
Very good, exactly. And the nickname of this player is El Guaje, I believe.
El Guaje.
Who
it's a way
El
to
Guaje?
say kid. Yeah, it's a way to say kid in the north. Obviously, the mystery player 100 of Speaking Football is David Villa. David El Guaje Villa.
Very good. Yeah, David. That's probably what we would say, the kid for El Guaje, the kid, but it's an Asturian word, no? It's interesting because I went to Cuba a few years ago and they say guajiro. Guajiro is like campesino, like a peasant, like somebody who lives in the countryside. But I wonder if there's a connection between guajiro and guaje because they sound...
No. Guajiro no viene de ahí. Guajiro es la forma, es que los que iban a la guerra normalmente les daban luego tierras y por eso eran agricultores, pero viene del inglés, que era héroe de guerra, war hero.
Ah, war hero. That's very interesting. There you go. That's fascinating, Ruben. Very, very good. Good bit of culture.
I learned that when I went to Cuba, and well, they told me that. No.
Ah, Guajiro, war hero.
Guajiro era el héroe de guerra que después de la guerra le dieron una tierra para que la pudiera cultivar.
Of course, yeah, like with Jose Marti, a lot of that was in the rural part of the country. A lot of the war was there, so that makes perfect sense. Very good. I've learned something today already, and we're only 4 minutes into the show. Absolutely fantastic. Did we have many winners this week, Ruben?
Well, a lot of them, because remember, this week we raffle a book among everybody who know the answer. Obviously, there were a lot of them. For example, José Realmenteros, un clásico, acertó. Ramón Bayón, la conexión del fútbol. Wembley, Atocha, el plantío. Víctor Alex García, que dice, is the historical Spanish striker David Villa, the authentic number 7 de La Roja, and brave player. Illa, Villa Maravilla. Joaquín Just, Pavlovsky, Jordi Nordic, David Torres, J.R. Barbancho, Uriel EP, Javier Montero, Jorge Rodríguez, Borja Swam, Salva Nadal, CBP, David Costa Rosa, que dice easy. Abel de Dios, Javi San, Jordi Mora, and the winner of the book, who was Tony Sanchez.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations to Tony, and well done everybody that participated. That was an amazing number of names. I recognize some of them. A lot of them are new names as well, but absolutely fantastic. Jose Ramon from La Valdo Show also mentioned that he was a maravilla. It's obviously a play on words there with his name. He was a maravilla of a player. He said that he also wanted to be a minor. This is David Villa. Apparently had considered a career as being a minor, but he decided against it. Thank God, gracias a Dios. Thank God. Absolutely true. And he became the best, well, the most successful striker in the history of the Spanish national team. His nickname, El Guaje, is El Guaje, and the mystery player is David Villa. Que maravilla. Yes, how wonderful, we would probably say. How wonderful. Fantastic. Really, really good. Absolutely fantastic thing. Do you have any favorite David Villa moments in the history of his career?
Well, in my opinion, David Villa is an extraordinary player. One of the keys about the success in the national side, because he was a great scorer. A guy who en España decimos que se le caen los goles.
Yeah, like the goal. It's almost like the goals come to him. You know, it's just like he scores goals. We would say he scores goals for fun, para divertirse. Yeah, marca goles para divertirse. He scores goals for fun. It just means like le sobran.
And in my opinion, in the history of the Spanish national side, it's not easy to find a top scorer. Because I think Spain is a great place in order to, you are looking for midfielders, for example, even great goalkeepers, but the top scorer is not easy to find. And in those years, we had the possibility of finding David Villa, and one of the reasons why we won a World Cup and 2 Euros.
That's it, absolutely. So you would say, as you said earlier, he's the key to the success, éxitos, success. So careful with the pronunciation. The key to the success of that fantastic Spanish team, and the key to so many important games. One of my favorite memories is David Villa's goal against Chile. Sorry, Chilenos that are listening, it's probably a bad memory for you. But here in Spain, this goal against Chile was absolutely one of the most famous goals in the history of the Spanish national team. Let's have a listen.
Do you know the reason why he scored that goal from the middle of the pitch? Because when he was a kid, he had a problem and he broke his leg. And he wasn't able to play with the right foot, and he had to learn how to play with the left one. And it's not easy when you are a right-footed to kick it with the other one. And that goal against Chile in the middle of the field, he scored with the left one. It was because he had to learn how to kick the ball with that leg.
With his left foot, yeah, with that foot. Yeah, he had to practice it a lot. We actually have a clip of the English commentary of this goal, so let's have a quick listen to it and remember that historical moment in the Spanish national team. Great memories for Spanish fans, not so great memories for Chile fans, but yeah, menos mal, just as well that he had that injury on his during his youth, because that allowed him to practice with his left foot and score that amazing goal from the left hand side into Claudio Bravo. Again, great memories for Spain, very bad memories for Chilenos. So sorry, my Chilean or our Chilean listeners, about bringing back those bad memories. Fantastic. Well, now it's on to our first section of today's program, which is, of course, our football cliche of the day. Now, remember, cliche, as it is in Spanish, is something that you hear being said about a place. You can also say un tópico in Spanish, a cliche about a country. And cliches are also things that people use. It's an element of speech that people use a lot. And football is full of cliches. We all have our phrases and our expressions that we like to use in football that we maybe don't use in other places. Now, last week we were talking about the parón de selecciones, the international break. Now, hemos vuelto a la rutina. How would you say hemos vuelto a la rutina in English?
Hemos vuelto a la rutina.
Mm-hmm.
No lo sé.
So you can say hemos vuelto, you can say we've returned to the routine. Yeah, we've returned
to the routine. Well, yeah,
routine. That's
I didn't think about it.
But you could also say there's a very good expression, which is to be back in the swing of things. Now, swing, anybody that plays golf will know this expression. Swing is how you hit the ball, swing. But to be back in the swing of things is to go back to the routine, to go back to your normal life. So, for example, we've had a long holiday and now we're back in the swing of things. Okay, that's hemos vuelto a la rutina. So we just had the international break, the parón de selecciones. Now we're back in the swing of things, and there's of course been no break for our footballing cliches. Wednesday night was a massive night, not just in Spanish football, but also for English football in the relegation battle, and Burnley managed to win against Everton. Now, Everton are in real trouble now because they're only, I think at the moment, they're only 1 point ahead of Burnley, who are still in the relegation zone. Burnley had been suffering from what we call a sequía de goles. Now, how do you say sequía de goles in English? We say...
Bueno, puedes utilizar la palabra drought, ¿no?
Yeah. Now, the pronunciation always kills people here because it's really not easy. So drought is the pronunciation of the word. Yeah, sequía. Goal, drought. If you think of, let's break it down. The word out, fuera. Okay, that's easy. Out. And then add at the beginning of the word dr. Dr.
Oh, okay. O sea, sequía sería goal, drought.
Much better. Fantastic. Goal, drought. Exactly. So they were having a bit of a goal drought, but then they scored 3 goals against Everton. An 85th minute winner won the game for them in that relegation battle match. Before the game, our cliche of the day was, of course, Sean Dyche, who said, it's not rocket science. He was talking about the ability to score goals, and he said, it's not rocket science. What does
he mean? It's not rocket science. Eso
it's
significa algo así como que no es un cohete de ciencia.
Yeah,
like, no, like,
yeah, it's like ciencia de cohetes, no? Like the idea of engineering. It's like ingeniería de, I don't know, like de NASA, okay? Like if you think of it that way. What he's trying to say there, no es tan complicado. No es tan complicado,
no es tan complicado.
Okay? Scoring goals is not rocket science. We also say sometimes it's not brain surgery. So surgery, what surgery?
Es cirugía cerebral.
Yeah, exactly.
Son formas de decir no es tan complicado.
No es tan complicado, okay? So it's not brain surgery, or as Sean Dyche
said,
it's
aquí
not
diríamos
rocket science.
Diríamos algo parecido. Podríamos decir algo así como no es ingeniería nuclear, o podrías hacer alguna asimilación, alguna temática que todo el mundo entiende que es muy compleja para querer dar a entender que en el fondo no es tan difícil.
That's it. Very good. Now, in this article, there's a lot of good expressions. We've obviously spoken about goal drought, sequía de goles. They also use this verb to struggle. To struggle. Now, if you want to, we often use this with the gerundio, to be struggling to do something. If you want to say, for example, le está costando a él, for example, le está costando marcar. How would you say that?
He's struggling to score.
Very good. He's struggling to score. And imagine we were talking about the team Burnley. How would you say that? Burnley are?
Burnley are struggling to score.
Very good. Burnley are struggling to score. Remember, if it's a team, we would use it in the plural. So
always
Burnley,
plural.
Yeah, exactly. You would probably say, al Burnley le falta gol. I think you would probably say, no, they're struggling to score, or le está costando marcar. Would you say that?
Sí, le está costando marcar. Sí.
That's it. Very good. Yeah, so they're struggling to score. Struggle. But you can also say, I'm struggling to focus. Me está costando centrarme. Yeah, I'm struggling to focus. But yeah, it's a really, really good word there, to struggle to do something. Very, very scary time for Everton, because Everton are a classic team of English football, and really they are what we would say is they're floating. They're floating just above the relegation zone. How do we say relegation zone?
Pues la zona de descenso directo.
Exactly, yeah, la zona del descenso directo. Okay, so like automatic relegation zone. Yeah, it's true. In England, we don't have they don't have a system of playoffs. They don't do that in the Premier League like they do in some other countries. Like, for example, I think Germany have a system of playoffs. The bottom two go down automatically. They're relegated automatically. And then I think the third bottom team has a playoff against the winner of the playoffs in the Bundesliga 2. So the second Bundesliga, like Segunda. So that's how that works. In Spain, it's similar to England, no? It's a direct...
Yeah, well, in Spain, it has been changing. I remember a lot of years ago, there were two teams who play against a team from the second division, the third and the fourth in the second division, playing against the 17 and 18. And they have to play a very, very dramatic eliminatory.
Yeah, like a knockout game almost. You could say like a knockout game. And it's like a cup final for a lot of these teams. No, it's very, very nervous, but it's a great thing to watch, especially in England. The playoff game to go from the championship, which is Segunda, to the Premier League is one of the best games in football. I always watch it. It's always really
and now the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth in the second division play a playoff among them.
It's really difficult to, among themselves, we would say. Among themselves. That's it. Yeah, they play a playoff among themselves. That's why they call it El Pozo, no? The well, because it's so difficult to escape from it. It's so difficult to get out, to go up. So very, very difficult. Yeah. Fantastic. Very, very good. Okay, now we're on to my favourite section of the week. I think Ruben's probably as well, which is the section that we like to call Play on Words. Okay, so if you've never heard this section before, this is the time of the week where Ruben and I test each other's skill as language learners in this section that we call Play on Words, Juego de Palabras. So the concept of this game is that I have two words in English, or two expressions in English. Ruben has two expressions in Spanish from different countries normally, and we have to guess, adivinar, we have to guess the correct response. Now, Ruben, I am going to ask you to start this week by giving me one of your Spanish expressions that I have to guess in English. So you can start with, tell me what countries you've gone for this week.
Today you have two options. You can trip to the beautiful Ecuador or visit the amazing Honduras. Where do you prefer to go?
The amazing Ecuador, the beautiful Honduras. I have quite a lot of Ecuadorian friends that live in Valencia. I have one from, there are one or two from Quito, and I have another friend who's from Zamora, but Zamora de Chinchipe in Ecuador. So it's not the same as Zamora in Spain. But yeah, I have a few Ecuadorian friends. I don't have too many Honduran friends, I have to say. I don't know too many people from Honduras. I'm going to start with Ecuador this week.
Okay, but Ecuador, the word is easy, galleta.
Galleta.
¿Qué significa galleta si estás jugando al fútbol en Ecuador?
Okay.
Y puedes utilizar por ejemplo el verbo hacer. Te van a hacer una galleta. If you are playing a match in Ecuador with your Ecuadorian friends and they told you, Tommy, I'm going to do a galleta. Voy a hacerte una galleta. What are they going to do?
Very interesting. Okay, so galleta, first of all, this is a word that people struggle. They struggle to pronounce in English, and there are two different ways to say it, and it depends on the country. So galleta in Europe, in Scotland, England, Wales, Ireland, we would say biscuit is a pronunciation of the word biscuit, biscuit, but we don't pronounce it like biscuit, it's biscuit is what we would say, biscuit. In America, they don't say biscuit. Do you know what they say in America for
cookie? You say cookie.
Exactly, cookie.
The same name as if you are changing the information about metadata you have in internet and you want to delete it, they are cookies too. But in this case, it's another way to say cookie.
That's it. Yeah, you hear
But in this case,
not going to help me. It's not going to help me
you
at all.
You are not going to eat it.
Okay, hacer una galleta. So,
hacer una galleta.
Now, it's something that you do to somebody else. I'm guessing that.
Yeah, it's an action in football. Okay, hacer una galleta. And I am going to give you, in my opinion, the most popular one. So it's going to be easy for you. Okay.
Right, okay. So the most famous galleta.
And I am going to give you the sentence too.
Okay. Thank you. Very generous.
The sentence is: Riquelme le hizo una galleta a Yepes.
Interesting. Okay. Now, ¿a quién? Riquelme did it to who?
A Yepes. A Yepes. It's a Colombian guy.
Right. Okay. Now that's really difficult. Now I don't know what you're talking about, sadly. But
no. Oh my God.
No.
You're going to watch it today.
Absolutely. As soon
you're
as
going to look for YouTube this.
As soon as this finishes, I think I'm going to go directly to the YouTube video and look for the galleta. Or I don't know what I would look for. But then you would have to tell me the answer in Spanish, and that would be cheating. That would be cheating if you told me it in Spanish. Hacer una galleta. Is it maybe something that an attacking player does to a defensive player?
It's more attacking.
It's more of an attacking.
The guy who hace una galleta has the ball.
Right. Okay.
So he's attacking.
He's attacking. And is it a way to perhaps to dodge somebody, esquivar, to dodge a player, to beat a player? Is it a type of regate?
Is that the answer?
Okay. Well, would it be? Is it a type? Is it like a trick? Is it something that you do to somebody? Like
it's a kind of trick. Yeah. You can say it's a kind of trick. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a way in which you do something beautiful. Everybody's going to applaud it.
Okay.
And they are going to say, "Wow."
Yeah.
If you hace una galleta. Wow.
Right. I'm going to have a guess. Okay. I'm going to go for it. Is it to nutmeg somebody? Un caño, un túnel?
Yeah, it's a nutmeg.
Nacho.
It's a nutmeg.
I'm not sure if Nacho can give me a little sound there, but I'm celebrating. Yeah. I'm absolutely celebrating. Fantastic. Brilliant.
Yes, es una galleta. I remember Riquelme hizo una galleta, un caño, a nutmeg, a Yepes, con Boca Junior, en el que gira alrededor suyo y le hace el caño. Es espectacular. In my opinion, the most beautiful nutmeg I've ever seen. Y en Ecuador se dice hacer una galleta.
Hacer una galleta. To nutmeg somebody. Yeah, it's interesting. Just a reminder in case you didn't know. For English, for un caño or una galleta, we would say nuez moscada, nutmeg.
Yes.
To nutmeg somebody. And we wouldn't say to do a nutmeg or to make a nutmeg. We just say to nutmeg.
The reason is because there is the Cockney rhythm.
The Cockney rhyme. The Cockney
rhyme, en el que la gente dice palabras que riman con otras. Porque nutmeg, como rima con between the legs, la gente ha terminado utilizando nutmeg in order to say that the ball crossed between the legs.
Exactly, yeah. Nutmeg, legs. That's it. Nutmeg to nutmeg somebody. Fantastic. That's brilliant. Yeah, the London English is another level. People always talk about Scottish English. They say it's very difficult. London English, particularly Cockney London English, is really, really hard, really, really difficult. So, yeah, very, very interesting. Well, we're going to take a quick break now, just to give you a few minutes, and then we're going to pick up the second half of the show. I'm going to start the second half of the show with one of my expressions in English for Ruben. Stick around. Okay, welcome back to Speaking Football. Now, I am very happy with myself because I guessed the correct word in Ruben's challenge, which was hacer una galleta, an Ecuadorian expression, you told me. And that means to nutmeg somebody. In Spanish, it would be un caño, no? In Spanish. In Spanish from Spain, we would say un caño. Or un túnel, do you say túnel as well?
Túnel también, sí. Puedes aludir a que se ponga sotana.
Okay.
También.
Very good.
Sotana es la vestimenta que llevan los curas, que es muy larga, entonces si la llevas puesta no te pueden hacer una galleta o un túnel o un caño o a nutmeg.
Yeah, I think we say a tunic is what we say for a priest, a cura. A priest, and he wears a very long tunic, a very long coat type thing. Yeah, so that's it. Very good. Fantastic. Okay, now on to English. Now, I've just gone for a general British expression again because these are the ones that I know the best. I'm going to start with the expression to whip one in. To whip one
in. To whip es látigo, o sea, dar latigazo, ¿no? Dar un latigazo. To whip one, dar uno en.
Yeah, I-N.
Okay.
Whip one
y whip, ya, bueno, what? In another program we talk about the whipping boys.
Exactly.
Que eran los chicos que recibían latigazos que deberían corresponder al príncipe heredero, pero claro, no se le podía pegar y había unos chicos amigos suyos a los que les daban a ellos.
Yeah, it was
muy solidario.
A very unfair system, yep.
Well, and now we are going to discover a new word, a new verb in this case, to whip one in.
To whip one in, exactly. Yeah. So
I am going to need a sentence, but well, it's a kind of shot.
Is that your guess?
No. It's a very quick. Tell me the sentence first, but I think
it's a type of action. So I'm trying not to give too much away, but you would say, imagine you're the manager and you would need to, you say, we need someone who can whip one in, or we need someone to whip one in.
So ponerte duro. Necesitamos a alguien que ponga mano dura, algo así. Podría ser.
That's tricky. I'm going to try and help you a little bit, though. Do you remember in the Real Madrid game? Did you watch Real Madrid against Chelsea in
Yes,
midweek?
I did.
Did you see for one of the goals? I'll be more specific. For the Chelsea goal, somebody whipped one in. For the Chelsea goal that was scored by Havertz.
The Chelsea goal was a center across, and the guy. Havertz scored, no?
Yeah, exactly.
Havertz scored. It was a header, no?
It was a header, yeah, from Havertz. Yeah, that's it. But in some moment during that goal, somebody whipped one in. What would we say?
Que no se marcó bien o sea que al látigo suelen estar relacionado con ponerse duro y hacer las cosas bien, quizá porque no se marcó bien al delantero, estaba solo.
I'm gonna have to give you 0 points for that one. I'm gonna have to give you 0 points. You're just a little bit too far off. You're just a little bit too far off. So you were close. Basically, to whip one in is centrar, is to cross the ball, but with a lot of, I think you would say rosca, no?
Like a swinging.
Yeah, like to swing it in, but really is to whip it in. It means to do it very powerfully, very fast, like to kick it in really hard, to cross the ball really hard with a lot of speed. So the right, I think it was a right winger for Chelsea, or the right back, whipped one in for Havertz, who was perfectly positioned to head the ball. He was very brave for it. But yeah, to whip one in is just centrar con, I don't know, would you say centrar con rosca? I don't know.
Con rosca fuerte.
Con rosca fuerte. Exactly.
Una fuerte rosca.
Yeah, fuerte roscas. Yeah, so to cross the ball. It's just another way to say to cross the ball well. David Beckham was very good at whipping crosses in. Yeah.
Well, very good. I make a mistake.
Very good. Okay, so
today, Tommy, you're going to win.
What I've got an open goal. I have an open goal for today. What is your next expression in Spanish for me?
My next expression is an expression for Honduras, and it's a expression called pega.
Pega.
was that, well, I think it's not only in Honduras, in Central America, and you can hear it when you are playing football. I am going to give you I am going to give you a clue about it. And there is a situation in the match, and I am going to give you two players famous for doing it.
Okay.
Pega,
right.
pega.
That sounds fair. That sounds
the
fair.
first
Pega,
one
pega.
is in the 50s, and the name is Mangrillan, Spanish player.
Okay.
And the second one is it's 10 years ago, 15 years ago, not too much. So maybe you saw it. And the name of the player was Chico.
Chico.
Okay,
Chico. Now, a South American player, Chico?
I don't know if Chico was from Spain, even Spain. All right? I am going to look for it right now, direct.
You're going to Google. Well, I'm going to think a little. So, pega.
No, it's a guy. It's a guy from Cádiz.
From Cádiz. Ah, okay. Yeah, Cádiz. Ah, interesting.
Gaditano.
Very good. Yeah, like a Cádiz. The Gaditano.
Pega.
Yeah, pega. Now,
pega.
Pegar obviously is to shoot, is what you can say in English.
Yeah. Or to punch.
Or to punch. Yeah. Like pegar. I could only think of a kind of vulgar way to say that. Like
to stick.
Yeah, a buffet, like or a bofetada, no, like a slap. You can use pegar for that as well. But pega, it just makes me think of the Hombres G song, but which is pica pica, polvo pica pica.
Yeah, no, but it's a different thing.
Pega
is a way of something. We have a different word in Spanish. Even you have the word in English too, obviously. And there are these two players. This one to another very, 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 very famous players.
Okay.
That's how you are winning 1-0. I'm not going to tell you more.
No, you're not going to help me. You're not going to help me.
No, I'm not going to help you because I'm going to tell you one. What do you prefer? I say, Magrillan or Chico, and I can give you the player who did that.
Now, all I can think, I'm going to gamble, and I'm going to go to the one from the 1950s. Magrillan, sorry, was the name of the player? Mangrillan. Okay, Mangrillan. Sorry, did he do this to Di Stefano?
Di Stefano, yes.
I know this.
No, you can do that.
I know
you
this.
can know that. You were in Spain in that year. Well, you were in this world.
No, but I know someone who was Jose Ramon from Laval del Show. That name rings a bell. He's spoken to me about that before, and I think this player used to play for Valencia, did he not?
Yeah.
I think I know what it is. Pegar is to stick, so I believe that it's it's something that a defender does to an attacking player. No, we would say pega. And it's basically when you mark somebody very closely, when you man mark somebody. I think that's what it is. You're so close to somebody that you don't let them breathe, basically. You man mark them.
You are very, very lucky, guys. Very, very lucky. That's impossible to know this, man. Come on.
I can't
You're going to know pega, my God.
And because Jose Ramon some months ago told me about that player, and because he supports Valencia, he's from the Valencian community, so he supports Valencia, and I remember the name. I was thinking that name me suena, that name rings a bell, and I remember it was from.
I can't believe it. I thought you're not going ever to know this word. Yeah, pega is when in sport you are making man to man without sticking from him.
So you're sticking close to a player, you're man-to-man marking the player.
Yeah. And for example, Mangrillan with Di Stefano, and Chico was an Almeria player who did it with Hugo Sanchez, like a coach, against Xavi Hernandez, the current Barcelona coach.
Okay. Coach, not coach. Careful.
Coach.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm going to say Cafa, but I never pronounce it properly. Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly. And the way that they say it, a man mark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you could say Chico man marked Xavi, or you could also say Xavi was man marked by Chico, is what you could say as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. I cannot believe that I got that
I
one.
can't believe it.
Thank you, Jose Ramon. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much, Jose Ramon. Okay, now I've got one more for you, I believe.
Yeah, my honor goal. I'm going to try my honor goal.
Yeah,
What's the second one?
We would say in English, consolation goal. A consolation
goal.
Yeah, that's it. If you're losing, you can still score a consolation goal, like Germany against Brazil. No, I think I can't remember.
So, well, you didn't beat me 7-0. No?
7-0, no.
You're only winning 2-0.
But I feel very happy. I feel very confident. Okay, now your next word in English is clanger. Clanger. Now,
Can you spell it, please?
Yep. Clanger. Clanger.
Okay. Could you give me a sentence? Because I don't know any word with this one.
Okay. Well, before I give you a sentence, I'm gonna explain the origin of the word. Clang is an onomatopoeic sound, which is like it's almost like a strong vibration, or like a boom kind of sound, For example, if you drop something made of metal, so imagine you're working in a garage, you're a mechanic, and you drop your hammer. Se te cae el martillo. Yeah, you drop your hammer, or your hammer falls. The sound that it would make on the ground, you could describe it as a clang. Okay, clang, like that. Okay, onomatopoeic sound. So a clanger is that's basically where it comes from, and it gives you a clue. It gives you a clue that is maybe not a positive thing.
Not a positive thing. And could you give me a sentence? For example,
we saw another one. We saw a clanger in the Chelsea Real Madrid game as well. Okay, for one of Real Madrid goals. I'm giving you a big clue here.
Okay, could be a synonym of howler.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, no, is to make a mistake, to make a howler, etc. For example, when Mendy clanger. How do you say that? Mendy clanger?
He made a clanger, so the same as howler.
He made a clanger. He made a howler. He made a clanger.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
My consolation goal.
That's a good consolation goal. Yeah, so he made a clanger. Often it's like if you drop something. So I gave you the example of when you drop something that's made of metal, it makes a clang sound. That's the idea. Sometimes it's when you drop the ball, but it can be any kind of big mistake. Un error garrafal, una cantada, you could say as well. No, that would be a clanger, and it's from a goalkeeper. It's a mistake by a goalkeeper. A howler can be more general. That can be from a defender. It can be a bad performance. You could say, oh, he had a howler against Madrid, for example. It could just be a bad rendimiento, a bad performance. But a clanger specifically is a bad mistake by a goalkeeper.
Sí, como meter la pata, como equivocarse grotescamente.
That's it, meter la pata. I like that. Yeah. In fact, there was a goalkeeper in Scotland who played for Aberdeen. And his name was Jamie Langfield, and he was a very good goalkeeper, but he made one or two clangers, and Langfield was his name, and his nickname, so apodo, his nickname was Clangers, is what they used to call him. Langfield Clangers. Very, very cruel, the Scottish football.
Yeah.
But that's it was quite a good nickname, Clangers. Very good. Fantastic. Well, I'm very happy with my victory there. We'll probably see Ruben destroy me next week, but I'm gonna be happy for Easter week now. Well, it's now once again that time of the week where Ruben and I have a look at what's been happening in the world of football in recent days. Lots to talk about in this week's press review. Okay, now this it's been an amazing absolutely amazing week for Spanish football. Obviously, it didn't start so well with Atletico, who lost against Manchester City, but it wasn't a particularly bad performance by Atletico. Do you think having lost 1-0 away to Manchester City that Simeone will be happy? Will he be sad? Will he be frustrated? Will he be
No, I
optimistic?
think he's
How
not
will he feel?
happy. Obviously, it's not a disaster. It's 1-0. You can't come back. You can come
Mhm.
back it. And well, I suppose they are trying to come back to Madrid with a 0-0.
Mhm.
But this was impossible because Manchester City was very difficult for Manchester City to generate chances.
Yeah, yeah. It
And
was difficult for them to generate chances or to create chances.
well, it was a very, very boring match. It was a very boring match. Well, but 1-0, Atletico Madrid can win for one goal or even to come back the match.
That's
So,
it.
but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
will see in the return game.
That's it. Very good. So yeah, so they could come back in the return game. They could turn the match around. You could say they could turn the tie around. Now, tie is what we say for like when it's a cup game, as we say a cup tie. So they could turn the tie around, or they could come back in the tie. These are two ways to say remontar. So they could do that. I like the article from the Guardian about this. Where they said that they use this very good word, undo, to undo. Now, to undo a team, any idea what that means? To undo
And tú es
Atletico?
como desarbolar, ¿no?
Interesting. Yeah, like
¿Puede ser
to
desarbolar?
desarbolar, like kind of to undo. We would say, for example, you undo a shirt, for example, when you take the buttons.
Desabrochar, desabrochar.
Desabrochar. Yeah, desabrochar, to undo the buttons in a shirt. And when we mean it, when we use it in a football sense, we just mean to beat a team, to penetrate, to score a goal against them, or to score some goals against them. So they used a couple of really good words in this article. It's street fighter. Phil Foden, Street Fighter. Phil Foden finds the touch to undo dogged Atletico. Okay, so they describe Foden as a street fighter, which is like, for me, that sounds a little
No,
bit
Street
negative.
Fighter, if you are from 90, you are for 80s or 90s, you know what the Street Fighter is. It's a game
Yep, it was
in
a
which
video
people
game.
fight at the street. So
Yeah, that's it.
the Phil Foden Street Fighter es el luchador de la calle,
Yeah.
encuentra el toque
Uh-huh.
para desabrochar a un Atlético terco,
Dogged.
¿no?
How would you say
Terco,
terco?
obstinado, ¿no?
Ostina. I like that. Yeah, terco, like stubborn almost, no? Stubborn.
Sí, algo así. Como,
Yep.
obviously, the key was the pass. A
Yeah.
great pass, a great definition from the room. But obviously, the touch of Foden was the most important action in the performance.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was fundamental. It was the key moment, as you said. And for me, like I remember when David Silva was entering the end of his career at Manchester City, people were saying, "Well, how are they going to replace David Silva? Somebody that's creative, somebody that's going to create goals for them." And I think Phil Foden seems to be the perfect answer, perfect timing for him to come in. And yeah, that word dogged, to be dogged, it just means to be very tough, to be very difficult, to be like to a team that fights a lot. Okay, so Atletico were very dogged against Manchester City, but ultimately it wasn't enough. We'll see what happens in the second leg at the Wanda Metropolitano, because I think that they will be happy with that result. I think they'll feel confident going into this. Secondly, Real Madrid. Now, what a result this was. I don't think many people expected them to play the way that they did. What were the keys to Real Madrid's success against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, in your opinion, Ruben? What did they do well?
Oh, well, the key was three keys, three very important things. The first, Benzema. The second, Benzema, and the third one, Benzema. Because if you watch the match, Benzema did a magic header in the first goal, very difficult because the pass is not good. And the second one, the pass is good, but the movement of Benzema was awesome. And the third one is the fifth the Benzema first in order to recover and to steal the ball. Mm-hmm. So, in my opinion, Benzema is the star of the match with a lot of difference because it's not easy to score the first, the second, and the third.
It reminds me of an article that was written in the 19th century about American elections, political elections. And there was a journalist who said there are 3 ways to win the elections in the United States: money, and I forget what the third one is. So it's the same idea. Why did Real Madrid win? Benzema, and Benzema. You know, he was absolutely fantastic. But there were lots of, I would say, key performances in the team. I thought that Valverde was unbelievable. How would you say, we've spoken about this before, but how do you say dejarse la piel in English? Can you remember?
To work your socks off.
Very good. To work your socks off, or to run your socks off as well. Both of them are correct. That's like dejarse la piel. So Valverde worked his socks off. He was running non-stop. Then se lesionó. How would you say se lesionó?
He got injured.
Very good. He got injured. Fantastic. Remember, if you want to use a body part, if you want to make it more specific, like se lesionó el gemelo, you could say he injured his, use the possessive.
Calves.
Yeah. So calves is plural. So singular.
Calf.
Calf. Exactly. So one more time. Se lesionó el gemelo.
He got injured his calf.
So I would just say he injured his calf.
He injured his calf.
Yeah, literally what we say is lesionó su gemelo, is what we say. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He injured his calf. For se lesionó el gemelo. But to get injured, punto, lesionarse, is that, to get injured. But to injure your and then your body part. Very good. Absolutely incredible performance. How will Ancelotti be feeling ahead of this game at the Bernabeu? Confident, do you think, to have 2?
No, he's not confident because he knows they can be beaten for Chelsea, and obviously they are going to be very careful with it. I'm sure.
Yeah, it seems to be that Tuchel has descartado. He has written off the possibility. He's written off the possibility of Chelsea coming back. I saw in the press conference yesterday, it was a Spanish journalist said, is a comeback possible? Do you think you'll be able to come back? And Tuchel just said, no.
I think it's very good. I think it's very difficult, but could be.
Yeah,
could be. In my opinion, they think Madrid is going to suffer a bit in the return game.
Yeah, I think Benzema's key is something that we've learned.
They are going to win the eliminatory, but they are going to suffer a bit.
That's it. They're going to win the tie, I would say, not eliminatory. The tie. They're going to win the tie. So, but yeah, I think it'll be a very difficult thing. If Chelsea get an early goal, if they score an early goal, it could be very complicated, a very difficult night for Real Madrid. Arguably, an even bigger result, a town in Valencia with 50,000 people, Villarreal, they've just knocked out Juve, and last on Wednesday, they score a goal in the 8th minute, and they hold on. How would you say hold on in Spanish? Would you say aguantar?
Sí, aguantar.
That's it. They hold on until the end of the game, and they won 1-0 against Bayern Munich, who a lot of people think are the favourites for the Champions League. Incredible night for Villarreal. How amazing is this, Ruben? For such a small
Villarreal has a very good team. In my opinion, they had very, very talented players like Gerard Moreno. They had different wings like Chikwueze or Jambuya is a great player. He has a Parejo in the midfield. Maybe the defense is the weak point, but if they play a very, very focused match, and they can give you a difficult situation for Bayern Munich. Obviously, Bayern Munich, in my opinion, is still favored in this eliminatory, but we will see. It's going to be a interesting match.
It'll be really interesting, but it's such a difficult thing to do, to go to the Allianz Arena in Munich, where Bayern Munich can absolutely destroy teams in that stadium. and to go with only one goal, very, very difficult. But they did it against Juventus. You know, there's stranger things have happened in football, and this is a team that has amazing character, and it has a lot of experience as well. You have international players there, and it's a team that won the Europa League as well against Manchester United in that final. So absolutely, it's a team that can go out there and do it. Although very, very difficult result to obtain going away to Germany to do that. So absolutely fantastic achievement. Think of the size of Villarreal. I was there a few weeks ago, watching the Villarreal against Celta Vigo game. You know, really nice people and very proud of their club, which is can achieve amazing things given how small it is. It's just amazing. 50,000 people, and they have that. So really, really great achievement for Villarreal. And lastly, our last article that we're looking at is Mbappé deja plantado, o podría dejar plantado al Madrid. Now, what does dejar plantado mean in English or in Spanish, Rubén?
Bueno, dejar plantado en el sentido de, bueno, esto viene un poco en las bodas, dejar plantado es que te plantaban ahí, ¿no? Que te dejaban. Yeah. You can say to stand up.
To stand up, yeah. So you can say to stand up, but for me, this sounds very strange in a football context, but it's literally what they say in Spanish. He could literally stand up Real Madrid as if it was a date, como si fuera una cita, as if it was a date or a wedding or something. I wouldn't use it in this context. I would probably use the expression that we learned a couple of weeks ago, which was dar calabazas. Do you remember how to say dar calabazas?
Dar calabaza. Sí, we learned that last week.
Some weeks ago, no?
Remember. Yes, to
think of boxing. To knock.
To knock out. I don't remember it.
But that would be a little bit strong. To knock back is what we say.
To knock back is true. To knock back.
That's it. Yeah. So, Mundo Deportivo, obviously a Barcelona magazine newspaper, no? The three key reasons, las tres claves, por las que Mbappé podría dejar plantado al Madrid. So the three key reasons why Mbappé could knock back Madrid is how I would translate that, because it's not a wedding or a date. So I would say knock back instead of stand up.
Or to give the shove, no? To give the shove.
To give a shove. You could maybe say to shove off, or I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it. I would definitely say to knock back. Dar calabazas. I like that. I like that expression.
Knock back.
Yeah, and it basically talks about the three reasons. Una sustancial mejora de su contrato, substantial improvement mejora in his contract. The Olympic Games, los Juegos Olímpicos de París, the Paris Olympic Games, and Zinedine Zidane is apparently another reason why Mbappé might not be coming to Madrid and could knock them back in favor of staying at PSG. So very, very interesting article that in Mundo Deportivo. Really, really good. Well, we don't have too much time left. So before we finish the program, we're going to give you the clues for next week's mystery player. Okay, Ruben, what is clue number 1 for the mystery player of next week?
His ancestors were from the Gypsy community.
Very good, exactly. So, ancestors, you could say like ser de ascendencia, no? You would say like to have ancestors from a certain country. Yeah, my ancestors were Scottish. I don't think I have any. Well, I think all of our ancestors are from Africa, no? At the beginning, but my ancestors, as far as I know, back are from Scotland. This player, his ancestors were from the Gypsy community, la comunidad gitana. The Gypsy community. Very interesting. Number 2, this is a big clue. Only Ronaldo and Messi have scored more goals than him in La Liga. Okay, so that's a big clue. When I started watching La Liga, this man was the top scorer in the history of the league. So that's a massive clue. Clue number 3, Ruben.
He was once described as the best head in Europe after Churchill.
Very good, yeah. La mejor cabeza de Europa después de Churchill. I believe it was a Swedish promoter that described him as that. It was a game that this player's team were playing in Sweden, and it was like an advert, a commercial for the game that he was going to play in, described him as la mejor cabeza de Europa después de Churchill, the best head in Europe after Churchill. That's a clue as well that he was good with his head. He was a good header of the ball. Number 4, his most famous goal was against England. His most famous goal was against England. Now, we've already had Ferenc Puskás, so it's not Puskás. Who is this player? His most famous goal was against England. Lastly, clue number 5. Ruben?
He played for Athletic Bilbao.
Very good.
He's almost a one club man.
He's almost a one club man, yeah, but I think he went back to, was it, what was the name? Baracaldo? Is that the name of the team?
I don't remember, yeah, but was as most club close to Athletic, where he plays a couple of years, and then he was playing his whole life for them.
For Athletic Bilbao. So he's more or less a one club man, yeah. And obviously, he played for Athletic Bilbao. You know, he's Basque. Okay, that goes without saying. Yes. He's obviously a Basque.
And we are going to share a photo in the social media. You can look at Speak Football with underscore between Speak and after Speak and Football, and you can check the photo too.
Exactly. You can check out the photo, see if you can recognize who this player is. Okay, so yes, go to Twitter, speak_football_, and let us know who you think the mystery player is. That's all we've got time for. Thanks to all of you who joined us here on the radio. And remember, stick around with us here for La Hora Extra with Richard Vaughan, which starts in just a few minutes. Thank you for joining us as always, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.